And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Big Rivers Conference soccer matchup here with the hometown New Richmond Tigers taking on the visiting Hudson High School Raiders out of Hudson, Wisconsin. So a final conference matchup before the sectional playoffs begin. This is part of the Big Rivers Conference tournament that ends the season. Things are really decided already, though, for the conference. The Raiders are the conference champions, and this is just a nice, will be a fun matchup between rivaling teams and cities to end the season for these teams before they head to the sectional playoffs. So, Raiders have had a successful season, and this should be a fun match. It's a cool night here in New Richmond. It's a beautiful stadium, though, nice field, so it will be a fun matchup to watch tonight, folks. So the Hudson Raiders are in white. They're the visiting team tonight, and they'll be playing from right to left on your screen, while the Tigers are in black, playing from left to right on your screen. So this broadcast is brought to you by Lightstream, which is part of the Hudson athletics programming, and so if I sound a little biased towards the Raiders, that's because I am. And but I always like good soccer, so hopefully we have a great match between these teams and see some good play both ways. It'll only help both teams as they enter the playoffs, which will start next week. And here we go with the kick. Starting things off, there's Captain Harry Ross of the Raiders in the center of the field, playing it over to Henry Vandenbark, and now playing it out wide. Raiders chasing it down. It's a cool night, like I said, probably approaching the 40s in temperature here, and not much wind, though, at all, so that will be a savior on the players. Cold is one thing, but cold and windy is another. There's a quick turn. Raiders still on it, working hard. And goes out over the end line off the Raiders, and that's going to be a goal kick for the Tigers. Big kick here from the Tigers goalkeeper. Oh, actually decides to play it short. Going to try to work it up. Raiders pick it off, and now trying to work that ball back up, but a good intercepted play there by the Tigers. Send in a through ball through. See what the Tigers can do here with their first. There's a big one, winding up and taking a big shot. Good attempt by the Tigers. Pretty long shot, about a 20, probably about a 25-yard shot there. So you got to really hit that right. It was a solid strike, but as in the case of most long shots, it sailed over the goal, and Raiders now take the goal kick and play it out. There's Aaron Sparling, the other Raiders captain, with the ball, number 9. Gives it to his captain counterpart, Harry Ross. Push the ball up. There's Wasman back to Sparling. Aaron Sparling with a left-footed cross in, but too much Tiger defense. Actually, about 8 defenders and the goalkeeper back to try to stop the Raiders from scoring on that play, at least. Raiders still trying to pick it apart. Wasman brings it in and works his way into a corner kick. And the Raiders, I guess the ref is calling, nope, he's calling a corner kick. And Raiders have had a lot of success, not just this year, but as part of their program, off corner kicks. They do sometimes play a short game. That's why they have 2 players there in the corner. And other times they play a traditional big ball in and see what can happen. But you can see what it does. It does pull a couple defenders out of there. quick turn and play there. I think that was Owen Wasman, and not able to get a solid strike on that ball. Nicky Allenoff there back on defense, intercepting the ball and getting up to his midfielders. Connor Sparling over there on the far end of the field with the ball. Brother of Aaron Sparling, actually twin brother. So kind of a fun dynamic for the Raiders to have the brotherly connection out there. Allenoff sends a big ball up, but nobody home for that. Tigers are going to let that go all the way down and take a goal kick. So the Raiders, like I said, have had a very successful season. I don't have their exact record in front of me, but I believe it's probably something around 12-1-1 or 12-0-2, something like that. I think they've had one loss and a couple ties, and other than that, a whole bunch of victories this year. And so setting themselves up for the top seed in the section was just announced earlier this week, which will give the Raiders home field. And there's Owen Wasman with the goal for the Raiders. The New Richmond goalkeeper came out aggressively, and I think there was a little miscommunication there. I'm going to watch the replay right now. This is a nice time delay on my computer, and I can watch this and see exactly what happened. And yep, the New Richmond goalkeeper and his defender kind of got tangled up. Nobody called the ball. It was probably what happened, and the ball trickled through, and Wasman had a wide open net to deposit the ball, which he did very safely and calmly, and because a lot of times players can get those open goals and they still miss them sometimes because their testosterone gets flowing.
4:24 mark of the first half. Number 7, Owen Wasman, unassisted. Again, scoring for Hudson. Number 7.
Adrenaline, testosterone, it's all the same with these boys, and they missed the goal, but Owen kept his cool and deposited it nicely. So big ball in by Sparling here. Still on the attack. The Raiders are looking to do everything they can, and the goalkeeper for New Richmond dove to. He did not want to give up a corner kick there, so nice play by New Richmond's goalkeeper. That was Owen Wasman's 13th goal of the season, so a tremendous season for Owen Wasman. 13 goals, 8 assists from what I've seen. Here we go. Sneaking that ball through as Wasman again. Or no, that was number 5, Owen Netterlow that time with the drive. Might have been a couple substitutes there. Vandenberg with the almost got tripped but didn't go down, so no foul called. And now we're going to have a Raiders throw-in. It's Connor Hauser. Back to Allenoff. He sends a big ball into the middle to Harry Ross. Allenoff again with the ball. Tries sending up the line to Wasman. Nice ball there by Vandenberg, sneaking it back to Wasman, who gets it down to the end. And that ball definitely did look out to me, but you follow what the refs call, and they did not call it out of bounds, so Wasman kept playing it, and no harm, no foul, though. Tigers still fighting back here, trying to get the ball up to their offensive unit. Hauser with a nice step-up play there to take that ball away. Harry Ross now with the ball. Center field, sending it wide to Wasman, who launches about a 25-yard shot, and much like we said before, that one sailed over the goal. Good attempt, though. Solid strike, but not really tough to be accurate on those really long shots to get the power on them as well. But nonetheless, Raiders back on the attack again. That time it was Mason Goodsmeal in the game, and he takes a blast again from probably about 20, 25 yards out. That was on target, but right at the goalkeeper. So solid save for New Richmond's goalkeeper. And New Richmond's going to have a throw in here, and they're going to get the ball into Raider territory. Raiders really dominating time of possession so far. We're about 8.5 minutes into this match. I'd say the Raiders have probably held the ball for about probably close to 8 minutes of that in New Richmond territory. So a strong start from the Raiders. Richmond had one time they were able to get the ball down and got a solid shot off, and they're going to be working to get some more opportunities like that. I see we have Jackson Willett in the game playing center defense. Ball comes all the way back to Raider goalkeeper Talon Sheets. Sends it up the line to Owen Wasman. Does a nice little bouncy move there to get it around, and then dishes it off to Ross. Real solid passing today from the Raiders. Looking for the open man, moving to the right spot so far, playing the right angles. Ball's into Wasman. Winds up and takes another shot. Drills that one low on the ground, but right at the goalkeeper for New Richmond. So your score remains 1-0. Raiders visiting here in New Richmond and holding the lead. Nice play by Harry Ross. Harry's really good. Oh, there's a nice through ball to Aaron Sparling. Goalkeeper gets it. Side judge was calling offside anyway. Richmond tries to move it up quickly, but gets intercepted by Henry Vandenbark there, playing some nice center D or center mid for the Raiders. Raiders play two center mids, a more offensive center mid and a more defensive center mid, and it looks like Henry's playing that holding defensive end, defensive mid right now, while Harry Ross is more of the attacking, but they probably interchange a bit on all that. Good takeaway there by New Richmond. Good ball out. Nice angled play. Connor Hauser with a nice takeaway. Seen some two nice defensive plays there, taking the ball away from each other. Raiders really playing quick, moving the ball quickly, making good decisions, moving the ball quickly. Players continually moving to open space. It's a very good start. Through ball through by Wasman, but a little too much on that one. So New Richmond's goalkeeper able to pick that up, and he's sending a big ball up, trying to sneak it past the Raiders' defense, but didn't work that time. Since we are broadcasting here on River Channel and Facebook, I am monitoring the YouTube channel for River Channel, and if that is what you are watching and you want to drop a line and share what player you're watching and which team you're rooting for and where you're from, it'd be great to give you a shout out. So please feel free to pop that into the comments section, and it's always fun to see who is listening and where from. We usually have our friends from Jupiter, Florida listening in, but it's always good to see who else is out there. All right, New Richmond finding a little life down here in the offensive end, and they're going to get a throw in a little deeper into the territory and see what they can do with it here at about the 13-minute mark in the first half. Ball up to Sparling. Sending it long and deep and up the middle. It's Netterlow, but a tough one to handle there. And Tigers defense held strong there. Got the ball out and be a Raiders throw-in. Entering the game for the Raiders is Calvin Lassard, who is a freshman. Taking out Mason Gutzmeal is Calvin Lassard. Calvin is a freshman and has come on the scene with 8 goals as a freshman, coming off the bench in most cases, which is pretty spectacular play. Ooh, big blast by the Raiders there. Aaron Sparling, but not full contact on that, and sends it wide. So be another goal kick here for New Richmond, and again, Calvin Lassard having a great freshman season with eight goals so far, and we still have potentially several more games for the Raiders if they perform well in the playoff situation. So 3 more years for Lassard is going to be fun to watch, along with some of the other underclassmen. After we see a couple seniors leave. Ooh, there's a good turn there. Oof. I think that was Wasman again, but had no choice but to kind of drill it, but it was right at the goalkeeper. Got a ruckus crowd here at Tiger Stadium. Fun to hear. And that ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Raiders corner kick. Tiger crowd is cheering on the good defensive play. Tigers' defense has been under fire almost the entire match so far, and is holding strong. Just a 1-0 lead for the Raiders. Comes big corner kick again out of a. Oh, and there's a goal for your Raiders. Off the corner kick. Like Aaron Sparling with the goal. Very well done. It was a nice ball by Harry Ross, a beautiful corner kick, and Sparling, I believe. Yes. Sparling buries the header at a nice angle. Nothing a goalkeeper can do about that, and that's going to give the Raiders a 2-0 lead. And that is Aaron Sparling's 15th goal of the season. He's having a really fantastic season, and that's Harry Ross's 10th assist on the season. So pretty great numbers from the captain, Aaron Sparling.
Scoring at the 16th minute, in the 16th minute, that is, for Hudson. Senior, number 9, Aaron Sparling. Assist to number 10, Harry Ross. Again, Sparling from Ross. Your new score, Hudson 2, New Richmond 0.
So you may have heard that, and sounds about what I said too. So Raiders take a 2-0 lead at about the 15.5-minute mark, and a solid corner kick. And again, as I said earlier, the Raiders are quite skilled on the corner kick. Plays and scoring off the head like that. It's been kind of a hallmark of the Raiders for at least the last 3 or 4 years that I've been covering and that my kids played. So it's fun to watch, and Raiders take a 2-0 lead here. Sparling again with the ball in the center. What's great about Captain Aaron Sparling's play is, he's scored a lot this season, 15 goals, probably about a 1 goal per game average. But then also with the 10 assists means he's setting up his teammates at a solid pace as well. And along with him, Owen Wasman, who scored our first goal of the night. Owen has 13 goals and 8 assists, so Owen in the same boat. Strong scoring, strong assisting. So, and I believe at least 12 Raider players have scored this season, which is a fantastic, spectrum of goals being scored by the team. So, pretty fun season when you get that many people involved in the scoring, and then even more, another several that had assists. So goes to show the skill of this team across the board. There's Bob Nelson tuning in. I knew you'd be watching, Bob. And Denise, good to have you from Jupiter, Florida. I'm sure it's much nicer there than the cold temperatures we're starting to get up here. So I hope you're enjoying it and enjoying the game so far. 2-goal lead is a good way to start here. Raiders moving that ball around again. There's Lassard in the middle, number 18. He's got a lot of height for a freshman. And there's Harry Ross moving the ball around. I'd say one thing I've seen tonight, by no means was it a slow start tonight for the Raiders. They came into the game and were moving and, moving to space and playing aggressive defense. Some games it takes a little bit to get going, and they came out of the gates ready for action tonight, very clearly. Comes a big penalty kick for the Raiders. Free kick here. Going to probably play it somewhat like a corner kick. Offsides is in play on this, so the Raiders have to be careful. Sometimes you can get pulled off or you move too early. And good head out by the Tigers. Connor Hauser with a blast there. Wasn't really set to... Didn't really have his feet set or his body right, but worth a shot sometimes. And but that one went a little high. In for the Raiders.
Number 21, Quinn Packard, checking in for the Tigers. Number 5, Leighton Bosco.
There's 21, Quinn Packard entering for your Raiders, and as the announcer said, number 5, Leighton Bostow entering for the Tigers. Over 20 minutes into this match, and Tigers get some penetration there, but Talon Sheets is there to break it up and push that ball up the field. It's Nitterlow and Wasman on the sideline. Wasman trying to thread it through, but to Aaron Sparling, but I think there was a little miscommunication there. Sparling started coming back, and Wasman sent the ball through, so not on the same wavelength, but that's sometimes how soccer is. It's such a creative game where you're just kind of making it up as you go, and sometimes it clicks and sometimes it doesn't. Nice ball over to Nitterlow. Raiders again trying for a through ball there, and crowd was shouting for a foul there on Nitterlow, and it certainly was a foul, but there is something in soccer called the advantage rule, and that is where the referee, even if a player is, tackled, if your team maintains the ball and it's a clear advantage for you to keep the ball, then the foul's not going to be called. It's an interesting rule, but it's a good one. And helps teams more than it hurts them usually. So, but you don't necessarily get the satisfaction of the penalty being called. So sometimes that can be frustrating for fans. Sometimes too, they'll wait and see if it actually was advantageous at all, and if it really wasn't after a little bit of play, then they will call it back. That was a straight shoulder-to-shoulder play, and as long as guys are upright, and good play by Wasman, good defense by the Tigers, working hard and keeping it out. Some solid play there. Good takeaway there by New Richmond, and a good pass out. Azara Zapeta out there with the ball and gets it in. The Tigers swing it out. There's Steven Chapman who sends a nice ball in, but thwarted by the Raiders' defense. Interesting call there. Lassard was actually dribbling the ball, and New Richmond kind of ran into him and tripped. But sometimes the refs see things that I don't, so I'll never hold it against them. And Tigers get a free kick here at about the midfield. Big clear there by Connor Sparling. Another big clear, trying to get it up to Wasman, but broken up by the Tigers' defense. Owen Wasman with the ball now, or Owen Netterloh, sorry. Over to Harry Ross. Big hit from behind on Lassard. It's going to be Harry Ross taking this free kick from about the 25-yard line. He'll probably do some kind of a chip to the far left side of the goal, trying to drop it maybe right around the goal line of the football field or the G. Oop, gets a little too under that, more of a streamlined ball than popping it up, and the Raiders send that ball out, and that's going to be a goal kick. And some substitutions here for the Raiders. Number 15, Mason Gutzmeal re-entering the game, and number 22, Soren Matson seeing his first action of the game. So a couple subs there. Good little battle in the corner there for New Richmond. Sends it in. It's a little behind. Another nice cross play there for New Richmond, trying to get some offense going. And they seem to have found a little bit of chemistry to push that ball up the field. And some good play there by... see the names. Number 23, Azariah Zapeta, and number 11, Roshane Samuels, and number 8, Steven Chapman. Finding some seams in the Raiders' midfield and defense there to get the ball up the field and have some good crossing attempts, but nobody home for them on the other end to try to score. Here's Matson with the ball into Harry Ross. Out to Vandenbark, who's going to send a big through ball up the middle. And that gets ejected to the sideline by the Tigers defense. His ball in. Good defensive play there by the Tigers. It's number 6, Brecken Posel, I believe, made that play. An really nice header by Tigers defender. Tried a little give and go there by the Tigers, but there's Vandenbark to break that up for the Raiders, and Nicky Elenoff pulling it back and then sending it up. Connor Sparling sending a big ball up the field, both to his brother, Aaron Sparling. Both of them have very strong legs and the ability to put a lot of distance on the ball if they need to. Harry Ross shielding a bit and trying to set up Sparling for a big ball in. He sends a nice ball in. Tigers goalkeeper kind of gets a volleyball hit on it and then is able to collect it after it bounces a bit. Ultimately, you want to catch as many of those balls as you can as a goalkeeper, but sometimes it's just not possible. Tigers crowd is attempting to invigorate the team on the field. So far they've been playing strong. And nice slide tackle there by number 6, Brecken Posel. Raiders get the ball into Lassard here. Sets up Aaron Sparling. Good play there. Lassard got the chance, but kind of took a weird bounce and took a little too long for him to really get on it. And Raiders were hoping this was going to be a corner kick, but the ref says goal kick, and the referee is right. No matter what actually happens, the referee's decision is final. So here we go. Raiders defense takes that clear back, and they start to reset on the offensive side of things. Now pushing the 30-minute mark in the match, in the first half. So about 10 minutes left in this first half. Raiders continue to lead 2-0. New Richmond putting together a little bit more offense in the last maybe 5-10 minutes, and but the Raiders still largely controlling this match so far. Good pressuring there by New Richmond, and they're going to maintain it and get a throw in here. Nice play there by Vandenbark. Puts a move on and then deposits the ball nicely to a teammate. Raiders trying a little give and go there in the center of the field, but a little too much congestion. Richmond really keeping most often about 6 defenders back. Might be midfielders playing a little more heavily on the defensive end, but they're working hard to keep the Raiders from scoring, which leaves their offensive attempts a little bit lacking on support, as we've seen a few times that they've gotten the ball up, but they just don't have the numbers to make great offensive attempts happen. There's Wasman back in the game.
Checking back in for Hudson, number 7, Owen Wassman.
Taking out Calvin Lassard, who had some nice nice action there for the Raiders. Here's New Richmond again. Nice little heel pass. Advances the ball up. There's a little bit of, whew, that was a foot race, but the Raiders just got to it, and the Tigers somehow end up with it, and Tigers are going to have a corner kick here. So here's probably one of their, they've had the ball a few times in some decent positions to make something happen, but this will be their first real opportunity to put this ball squarely in the scoring area and see if something can happen here. So they've got about 5 guys up trying to collect the ball. It's not a bad cross in, a little bit short, a little low, and the Raiders are able to get that out. Now they're going to counterattack. Sparling gets it up to Wasman. 3 defenders on Wasman. Slows it down a hair and just puts the ball a little behind the sprinting teammate over there, and New Richmond's able to break that up. New Richmond again finding some seams here, and they're sneaking the ball around. That was a good, really solid setup play. Roshane Samuels with the shot, but I don't think he really didn't have his body in the right position to launch that ball, and his shot didn't quite have the power on it he wanted, and it was a little bit high. So Raiders avert something there. That was a solid offensive setup there for the Tigers. Ball in there off of Connor Hauser is going to be another corner kick attempt for the Tigers, who have found a little bit of life here at the last 10 minutes of the first half here, and keeping the ball in possession a bit longer on the offensive end and getting some opportunity. There's the ball in. Oh, nice grab by Talon Sheets of the Raiders. Gets up, gets both hands on it, brings it down. The catch is a key part to a play like that. You don't just want to hit it if you can help it, because you never know where that ball's going to go or who's going to get on it. Tigers again, though, playing some defense on their offensive end and earning that ball back. And that's one thing the Raiders generally do very well, is defend all over the field, which allows them to possess the ball a lot more. And seeing that from the Tigers here, which is helping them keep their opportunities, or keep having opportunities on the offensive end. Now down to about 5 minutes in the first half here. Score maintained at 2-0 with the Raiders lead. Matson here with the ball in the corner. Goes for a shot, went for a big shot, and just took maybe a split second too long to get that shot off. And but it was a good try. Got to take that opportunity sometimes and see what happens. Throwing for the Raiders, and that's Mac Mazzell. Whoop. Now Mac Mazzell is entering the game. Yeah, looks like Henry Vandenberg getting a little bit of, nope, that's actually Quinn Packard getting a little bit of a break. Come the Raiders with the throw. Sparling over to Matson. Does a sneaky little play to get that ball. Oof. That ball kind of snuck through everybody, but New Richmond cleared it and ends up in the goalkeeper's hands. Plays it short. Good little play there by the Tigers, but does get out of bounds. Matson with the throw. Wasman with a little heel flick attempt there, but not really able to connect with anybody on that. And the Raiders get denied, and here comes the Tigers again, and they've had some good offensive pushes here in the last few minutes. It's a really nice takeaway by be number 10, Len Rios of the Tigers. Good aggressive play and a little bit of body, but a lot of aggressiveness took that ball away. Rios again out to Brecken Posel, and that ball sneaks through again, but New Richmond knocking on the door, but not able to get in yet. Ball behind Wasman, and that's actually how the play is called. There's a perfect example. There was a foul on the Raiders. Referee thought it might be advantageous to let them carry the ball, so he let them carry it a bit, but it wasn't, so he quickly called it back, and that is exactly how it's supposed to be played, if there's any doubt. Again, another good defensive stand here by New Richmond, and that's number 11, Connor Sparling, from the defensive end, taking a shot there from about 35 yards out, which is a little bit long, but sometimes you never know what can happen depending where the goalkeeper might be playing or what kind of angle you get. Down to about a minute and a half in the first half. New Richmond gets a free kick here, and they're going to send it somewhat deep. A little chip shot there.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute remaining.
And Sparling into Vandenbark. Pushes it up. Wasman over to Ross to Sparling. Chips it in, and there's a oof. Great play. Really nice play, but awfully hard to redirect a header like that when you're going one direction and trying to head it almost in a 90-degree angle away. But it was a heck of an attempt and a nice play. Raiders all were on the same page on that, which is fun and what can help them win future matches as well when they've got that kind of chemistry going on.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there you heard it. There's the end of the first half.
Score at halftime. The Hudson Raiders 2 and the Richmond Tigers 0.
We'll see you back in about 10 minutes for the second half finale of this matchup. Oh, well, there we go. Hello, everyone. You heard my take on a little bit of soccer history of the Twin Cities, and I should introduce myself and my colleague. I'm with Jeff Munter with River Channel. Jeff runs all technical sides of the broadcast and does a amazing job, and Jeff is out of Tartan High School from back in the day, which was what we were talking about, and I am Jeff Ion. I am the announcer and former longtime soccer coach and player and lover of the game, and we're excited to be here. And we're just started the second half here, and we've got a 2-0 lead for the visiting Hudson Raiders. Raiders are in white, playing from left to right on your screen, and the home New Richmond High School Tigers in black, playing from right to left on your screen. The Raiders get a corner kick there, but they're not able to do much with it. So I'm going to give a shout out here again. If you are watching the game from anywhere, please drop a drop a comment in the comments section, and we'll give you a shout out. Who are you watching? Which team are you for? And where are you? And I do see my good friend Brett Hauser over there at the University of Madison watching, and there's a good attempt there by Owen Wasman, whose dad's Ben is watching from Arkansas. Ben, what the heck are you doing in Arkansas? Probably working as usual and having a little bit of fun, but hopefully you're a little warmer there in Arkansas than we are here in New Richmond, Wisconsin, where it's a bit chilly. But at least I'm in the booth now instead of sitting in the stands or on the sidelines being cold. So, and Brett, I hear you're studying while watching, so good for you. Hopefully your classes are going well this year, and hopefully you're enjoying the game. So your brother's playing well, and we'll see what happens here. Tigers get the ball up the field, but can't do much with it. Gets out, and the Raiders will have the goal kick here. Allenoff bringing the ball out. Looks like Aaron Sparling over there on the wing. Sending it up, trying to hit Netterlow. Gets a little tangled up in the bodies there, and New Richmond is able to clear that ball out. There we go. There's Allenoff. Sending it through to Ross. Up to Sparling. Hard takedown on Wasman in the box. And that's going to be a PK. Penalty kick for the Raiders. Just really can't nail somebody in the back like that in the box and get away with it. You're gonna get called quite often for that. And I think that's Wasman lining up to take the kick. He got the foul, deserves the kick. And he buries it in the lower left-hand corner. And that's going to give the Raiders a 3-0 lead. That is, it looks like Wasman's 14th goal of the season, and gives the Raiders that more comfortable 3-goal lead that you like to have in these matches. So still a little early to feel too comfortable, because you never know when a PK can come New Richmond's way, and then you just don't know how that's all going to play out. So you got to keep playing tough here. And New Richmond, I've seen them play for years and years in high school soccer and traveling soccer.
Scoring for Hudson, his second goal of the evening. Number 7, Owen Wasman.
I don't think we'll see.
Penalty kick at 43-49.
I don't think we'll see New Richmond backing off in this game at all. They're going to keep playing hard till the end and try to do some damage on the scoreboard against the Raiders. There's a push off by Wasman, and that was the right call there too. And New Richmond's going to get a free kick and kind of averts that offensive strike by the Raiders. Comes the free kick by the Tigers. Big high ball in there, and nice little turn there by New Richmond to keep that ball alive. Go to cut back. Okay, again, New Richmond knocking on the door, just not able to get that last pass or that shot off for the solid opportunities they want. But some nice play. Come next week in the sectional tournaments is actually New Richmond plays in a different division than the Raiders. Raiders are in the big school sectional, and New Richmond is in smaller school section. Big rip there by Henry Vandenbark. Sends it high and wide, unfortunately, and there'll be a goal kick for New Richmond. But New Richmond traditionally does very well in the sectional tournaments too, as I believe been to state a few times, and so they're used to some heavy competition, which is why they don't really back off the Raiders too much. And it'll be fun to see how both these teams do in their corresponding sections. Also, River Falls, Wisconsin is usually quite competitive in section tournaments as well, and they play in, I believe, a whole different level than either of these teams. So Big Rivers Conference usually performs quite well in sectional play at all those levels, which is why it's a fun conference to watch. Most likely in the Raiders section, it very well could be Eau Claire Memorial again as someone the Raiders will have to face. Those teams seem to end up playing at some point in each sectional tournament over the last few years, but not necessarily what will happen, but could. So inadvertent handball there on Harry Ross, and Tigers are going to get a free kick, and this could be dangerous. This is a good spot to pop the ball into the scoring area, and then you never know what might happen there. So let's take a look and watch and see what looks like number 7, Matt Westmoreland, does with this ball for New Richmond. Puts a nice high ball in, maybe just a little heavy because it really just tracked to the goalkeeper, but not a bad touch, not a bad ball on a cold night, but Raiders avoid any significant scoring attack there by New Richmond. Nice little play there by Harry Ross, getting it into Aaron Sparling in traffic. Ball comes out. There's Ross again. Ross has a really amazing ability to just keep the ball on his feet. He's able to misdirect with his body and his feet and still know where the ball is. It's just fun to watch him play like that. So there's Wasman again, making some things happen. And there's a nice ball into Connor Sparling, who deposits the ball in, and we have another goal for the Raiders. We'll put them up 4-0, and both the Sparling boys are on the scoreboard tonight for the Raiders. That's definitely fun to see, and that's Connor Sparling's second goal of the season. So pretty exciting, pretty fun. Connor's coming off the field here, and a nice play, and he also really handled that shot well, because there was a little bit of pressure in the middle of things, and he just calmly and collectively put that ball past the goalkeeper, which is nice. And then the Raiders also, we're going to see Tyler Hindall in now to wrap this game up. He's going to get the final about 31 minutes of goalkeeping time for the Raiders. And Tyler has played a lot this season, and Tyler is going to be
scoring for Hudson at the 48-19 mark, number 11, Connor Sparling. Assist to number 10, Harry Ross. Your new score, Hudson 4, New Richmond 0.
So that's Harry Ross's second assist of the match, too. So, great penetrating play by Netterlow, but unfortunately, offside's called. So New Richmond will get a free kick here. And but getting back to Tyler Hindall, backup goalkeeper for the Raiders this year, but he's played a lot of ball, and he's played spectacularly in those situations. And so it's going to be great to have Tyler back, most likely manning the net next year. And good to see that, because that's a pretty important position, and it'll be good to have Tyler there. So him and Tyler's in the game. There's Jackson Willett bringing that ball back, spreading it out. Raiders pushing it up. Yeah. Raiders with the foul. It's going to come back and be a free kick for the Tigers. Mason Goodsmeal there with the foul for the Raiders. Maybe a little too pushy there on the play, which happens sometimes, and got called for it. Quinn Packard there with the ball with the Raiders, bringing it back to Willett. Raiders pushing it up. It's a little foot race here. Ball sneaks through. Oof. Quinn Packard with a good run through and a good attempt there, but kind of sends a sidewinding spinner wide of the goal.
And number 14, Mac Mizell. Checking in for the Tigers, number 44, Evan Sanders.
There's Evan Sanders in for the Tigers, and then the Raiders are sending in Calvin Lassard, and now I'm drawing a blank on who the other Raider was that just came in, but I believe it was Mac Mizell. That's who it was. So both those players saw some action in the first half. We get some chance here to get some good playing time at the end of this match. Tigers, though, you can tell, are still working hard, and they want to get on that scoreboard. So see if the Raiders can hold them off here at about the 52-minute mark here. So we're looking at about 28 minutes left in the match. Willett sending it up to Netterlow. Got some speed, but the angle on that was tough for the Tigers. There's good pursuit by Netterlow. Just kind of picked the pocket. I think the Tigers didn't think anybody was going to come on him. Oh, nice save by the Tigers goalkeeper. Spectacular jumping kind of volleyball spike save. Definitely saved a goal on that play because that was pretty much a point-blank shot almost. So good job to him. Packard now back with the ball with the Raiders. Sends it back to Willett. Gets the ball out. Goodsmeal. Back to Packard, who's carrying it up. Sends it in. It's Netterlow. A little disruption there by the Tigers, and Packard is he is working hard up and down the field and making things happen offensively and defensively. So good turn of plays there. Big cross in there. Looking for Netterlow, but too many Tigers there for Owen to do much. Nice defensive play there by the Tigers. A little back and forth with the ball there, but the Raiders are able to advance it. Quite a little scrum there. Not sure any fun. I think the ref made a good call there on a no call. Hard to tell who did what there, and maybe their feet probably just got tangled. So People always want something when they see players go down, but it's not always a foul just because people get knocked over or fall over. Comes Ross again. Over to Alanoff. There's Ross chasing it down the corner. See what he can do. Gets around. Nice turn. Deposit it right where you want it, but nobody's really there. And Quinn Packer gets a shot, but he kind of had to really move his body around to get in a good position to score there, take the shot, and by then the ball wasn't really where he wanted it. It's a tough play, but he still got a decent attempt off. So, but a great penetrating move by Harry Ross.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 22, Soren Batson, and number 19, Jack Toole. Checking in for the Tigers, number 5, Leighton Bostow, and number 9, Mason Benning.
All right, we're now at about 24 minutes left in the match. Raiders continue to lead now with a score of 4-0. 2 Owen Wasman goals, an Aaron Sparling goal, and a Connor Sparling goal, and it's been a solid night for the Raiders so far. New Richmond has they've had some challenging moments on offense, just not able to get that real final touch to get the high quality shots and things like that. So, but they've really knocked on the door quite a bit to get close to that. But the Raiders' defense and goalkeeping has kept that at bay so far. So still some time left, though, and we'll see what the Tigers can do. But Raiders working to keep trying to score as well. They can't really turn it off and shouldn't, and so they're gonna. We still got a lot of good ball here to see what happens. Great penetrating play. There's another example from the Raiders or of the Tigers of getting close, and I think the crowd was really hoping that number 5 Leighton Bostow was going to take a left-footed shot there, but he really didn't have a great angle to score, and and then the Raiders get back down and get a good shot, but the Tigers play some tough D and force a corner kick for the Raiders. But Leighton Bostow there tries to send a cross across and just gets, which was probably the right decision because he didn't really have a good angle to shoot on. But
checking into the game for the Tigers, number 49, Ben Stevens.
And there you have Coach Solom of the Raiders putting in a whole bunch of substitutes. So I think we've got largely a bench team in for the Raiders here, although these players have all played quite a bit this season. But usually they're intermixed with some of the seniors and starters. But this is a good team, too. They usually keep the momentum going and be a good look at next year's Raider team here on the field largely. So Packer there still dancing around, making some nice moves to keep that ball alive into the middle for the Raiders. Gets taken by the Tigers, and we got a foul against the Raiders, and Richmond's going to get a free kick here in a. Oh, they're pulling it way back. I didn't see the foul, so oh yeah, no, I just saw it on replay. So it was kind of a push down from behind by the Raiders, and Tigers will get a free kick here. It's a little long to be a real solid scoring, so they're going to play it short, try to work it up. nice play by Willett. A little misdirection. And the ball gets up. And the Tigers are able to clear it out of bounds. And it'll be a Raiders throw-in. And it looks like we have Sam Youssef coming in for the Raiders. Another sub. Sam is a junior, typically playing midfield, and he is taking out Henry Vandenbark, who's had a really solid game in the middle there for the Raiders. And it looks like Xavier Island preparing to come in for the Raiders too here. When I see the sideline, he's having a chat with Coach Solom and about some strategy for when he enters the game. Now under 20 minutes left in this match, final game of what they call the Big Rivers Conference tournament. I think they kind of play this to get some extra matches in, and sometimes it can actually lead to the last games determining who's going to be the conference champion. But the Raiders were able to lock that up with previous wins against Eau Claire Memorial and River Falls High School. So those made things so that the Raiders did lock in the conference championship, and then they have, I believe, already had.
Number 4, Xavier Island. Back into the Tigers. Number 11, Roche Samuels.
And they've also, I believe, locked in the number 1 seed in the section. So that's great because they will have home field advantage for much of the playoffs starting next Tuesday. Tyler Hindall with a big play there, keeps it out and gets a punt off. Or I'm sorry, that's not Tyler Hindall. They're both in orange, so I'm a little mixed up. But there's New Richmond's goalkeeper. Raiders moving it around. Was Jackson Willett came out of the game there for when Xavier Island came in, and Jackson's played a great game. Played quite a bit in the first half and here in the second half, and is going to get a chance to just probably take a break here. May see some of those players come back in before the end of the match, or might just give the starters a little bit of a leeway and a break before the all-important sectional tournament starts next week. It's a nice ball movement by New Richmond as they continue to still try to get that ball in the net. Raiders get the clear, though, and send that ball wide to Ben Weaver there. Quinn Packard goes for a big crossfield, kind of a through ball crossing play all at once, and actually worked out well. Raiders have the ball deep in Tigers territory there, but they're going to pull it back, reset a bit. Send the ball in, and just Tigers just beat the Raiders with that ball. Tigers again having that ball just sort of stick to their feet sometimes and advance in the way they want, and but not able to get enough on it to get a scoring opportunity again. And the Raiders defense collects it back, brings it back to goalkeeper Tyler Hindall, who sends a big ball up the field. Raiders continue to push it, working up the sideline, and Richmond hustles to save that from being a corner kick and sends it out, and that'll be a nope. I guess it did go out, so it's going to be a Raiders corner kick regardless. And we'll see how this crew of Raiders responds to having the corner kick opportunity. Saw the starting team out there with a great corner kick score for Aaron Sparling, heading it beautifully into the goal. It's a big ball in. It's nice and high. It's in a nice spot. Oof. Goalkeeper kind of redirected it, but the Raiders had a shot, but everybody was kind of facing the wrong direction there, and New Richmond pushes it up the field quickly, but it gets out of bounds, and that's going to be a Raiders throw-in. It's like a little fall away from the ball maybe there, and New Richmond's going to get a free kick. This is definitely a spot where they can put it in the scoring area and see what they can do. Big ball in. Not bad. Raiders get a head on it. I think they probably would have liked that to have been a little bit deeper by about maybe 8 to 10 yards further. Substitute coming in for New Richmond. Looks like Len Rios. Looks like the Raiders have number 16, Austin Nava, preparing to enter the game. Austin has seen some good playing time this season too, and adds to the depth of this team. Austin is a senior, and it's been fun watching him play over the years as well. Foot race, and ball gets out of bounds off the Tigers, so the Raiders will get the throw in. We're now down to about 12 and a half minutes left in this match. Raiders continue to lead 4-0 and are still pushing for more. Ball comes out to Packard. Tries to get up under it and send a through ball through, and kind of must have went off his foot a little sideways, and kind of was low and a little spinny. Raiders kick that ball out of bounds to avoid any danger, and it'll be a Tigers throw-in, which they get off. Now they try to set up for some sort of attack. It's going to be a Tigers throw-in there again. Good play there by the Raiders, pushing it up. And, little nice little passes there, but eventually the Tigers defense holds and gets that ball out. Offense for the Raiders resets, gets it out to Ben Weaver. Just got it in the corner, does a little heel pullback, gets a nice little left-footed cross off. And eventually the Tigers take it out of the scrum, and the Raiders try to regroup here. Free kick here for the Tigers. Island with the foul, kind of tripping a guy well after the ball went by. Not a hard trip, but just kind of getting his body out there where he shouldn't. And we're now down to about 10 minutes left in the match. Tigers still working extremely hard trying to get on the board and trying to prevent the Raiders from doing any more damage, but the Raiders do continue to lead here 4-0, and this is a good end to the conference season for the Raiders, who have played exceptionally well this year and have positioned them well in the section with the number 1 seed. Not sure what happened there. Watch this replay. Somebody almost did the splits, though. And the crowd was kind of impressed by that. Oh, yeah, that was. That looked like Henry Vandenbark, I think. I'm not sure if he's. Maybe not Henry. Somebody got caught kind of doing the sideways splits almost. Didn't quite have the flexibility to get all the way down, but got into dangerous territory on that one. And anyway, got Austin Nava now entering the game, giving Calvin Lassard a breather. Some good play out of Calvin tonight. And Nava in the game. He's a sprinter and a fire ball out on that field, so we'll probably see some interesting stuff out of him here, even with the time left in this match. So we have a Raiders throw deep in their own territory. Tigers bringing it all the way back to their defense. Trying to switch the field. Raiders sniffed that out, though, and kind of prepared for it. A good ball movement here by the Raiders. One thing I'll say about this Raider team throughout the season is just really compose themselves well. Not a lot of drama on this team with dealing with the referees or the other team. Just really playing hard and out to win, which is great to see, and is going to probably serve them well here in the sectional tournament. So it'll be definitely should be some fun games in the next couple weeks with these boys, and New Richmond as well in their sectional tournament. They're always a contender in theirs as well, so it'll be fun to watch and see how they do as well. The west side of Wisconsin doesn't have nearly the population or the schools that the Milwaukee and Madison areas do, but they produce some pretty solid soccer here that makes them competitive in the sections and often in the state tournaments. So a good part of that for these teams out here on the west side is they do get to play a lot of teams from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area too. So, but they often get kind of a second thought from the rest of the state of Wisconsin, and they go to these tournaments and they surprise. So Soren Matson getting the foul called there, a little back and forth bumping, and then a little bit of a takedown there by Matson. And the Tigers get a free kick with about 5 minutes left. See if they can do something with it. That's a ball in a nice place Good header there. That was a very nice combination there. Number 7, Matt Westmoreland to Rasheen Samuels, who used his speed and got by the defense and got a good header on it, but just sent that ball wide of the goal. So another good attempt though by the Tigers tonight. We are now at 5 minutes left in the match. The Hudson Raiders in white continue to lead 4-0 over the New Richmond Tigers in black. Got a hustle there by Quinn Packard to get back and get that ball into the hands of the Raiders and moving it around in the back from goalkeeper to defense and then pushing it up the field. So people sometimes wonder why they do that, but it's because usually the defense collapses on the ball, and so more people are on that side of the field. And so if you quickly move it to the other side, you can advance the ball relatively easily because there's not so much congestion around there.
Checking in for the Tigers, number 48, Levi Jansen.
Levi Jansen in for the Tigers. We're down to about 3.5 minutes in the match. Can definitely feel even in the press box through the open window that the temperature has been dropping. Again, I'm glad I'm in the booth and not on the sideline or in the stands like I was as a coach and a parent. And there's a ball that got away from the Tigers. Will be a Raiders throw in here. Big clear for the Tigers. Good play there by Rasheen Samuels in the middle to get the ball in the hands, and the Tigers keep getting get the ball down there. They just can't get that last pass off or the play to make some scoring opportunities, some high-level scoring opportunities happen. Though the Raiders' defense is just too strong and in the right positions. They've been playing well despite New Richmond getting down there. The Raiders have been able to really just put the kibosh on every attempt they've had tonight. Now at about 2 minutes left. In the match. Tigers continue to possess the ball here and not giving up down to the final second here. And they're going to maintain the ball here with a throw-in. And the Raiders take possession of the ball here, and we'll kind of work it up here. Now down to about 1 minute. Good defensive play there by the Raiders. Pushing that ball up.
1 minute remaining in regulation. 1 minute remaining.
Matson there bringing the ball back. Jack Poole bringing it in back into Matson. He's going to send it through. Just had some spin on it, so kind of kept it in the center of the field. Didn't quite go the way Soren, I think, wanted that to the streaking Austin Nava. And that's going to really bring us down here now to about 30 seconds. might get an opportunity here for New Richmond if they can put together a few passing sequences, but the Raiders do get the clear, and they get the ball up, and a little foot race here. Raiders are going to put a little pressure on here at the last second. And there's a goal for the Raiders. They buried a goal with 10 seconds left in the match. Not sure I can see who that is. Got 13. That is Caden Lennox. The nice streaking, sprinting goal. He had some pressure and he outran the pressure and buried a really nice shot in there. And I think that's adding... Nope, that's Caden's second goal of the season. So, really nice play and a good finale for the Raiders. We appreciate all of you tuning into the River Channel here tonight. And
scoring at 79:50 of the game, number 13, Caden Lennox. Your final score from New Richmond Stadium: Hudson 5, New Richmond 0.
And we'll see you next week for sectional games here on the River Channel.
Next game is Thursday.